Liverpool have been going crazy in the transfer market this summer, signing great to superstar level players for an absurd amount of money, something I haven't seen from Liverpool like literally ever. Have we found oil under Anfield or something? What is going on, bruh? But with John W. Henry finally unleashing his war chest of funds and Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes leading this new Liverpool signing charge, who did we sign, who are we likely to sign sometime later this summer, and how much are we cooking for the next football season? Well, let's go over what might be Liverpool's best transfer window of all time. Now, heading into the summer break, it was clear that Liverpool needed to dive into the transfer market, with the captain Virgil van Dijk even coming out and saying that it's going to be a big summer. And the reason why Van Dijk and us fans were feeling like it was going to be a huge summer for Liverpool is because the squad needed massive re-strengthening. Yes, we did come away as the Premier League champions, but there were flaws in this team that everybody could see. For starters, we desperately needed new fullbacks, with Trent Alexander-Arnold leaving to Real Madrid on basically a free transfer, with him desperate for a new experience and probably to play with Jude Bellingham, and Andy Robertson simply not being at the highest levels anymore. Then with Kelleher departing to Brentford and Alisson only getting older and still kind of being injury prone, we would also need a new goalkeeper. We also possibly needed some new center back options as well, with Jared Kwanzaa dipping to Bayer Leverkusen for around 40 million euros, and Ibrahima Konate's situation still being up in the air, with Real Madrid and PSG heavily linked with him on a free transfer for next summer. And then the entire attack needed massive revamping apart from Mohamed Salah, because it was clear we relied on him heavily for goals and assists in our Premier League winning season last campaign, with Luis Diaz being a purple patch warrior and only performing when the sun is shining, Darwin Núñez's football IQ being on the same level as a zebra, Cody Gakpo having some injury issues that affected us, Harvey Elliott's future being up in the air, and the sad passing of Diego Jota, may he rest in peace, meant that we needed a squad rebuilding for almost every single position except like the midfield. And that's when the head of football at FSG, Michael Edwards, and the Liverpool sporting director Richard Hughes got to work, because they desperately needed to back Arne Slot this summer. After all, he literally won the league with no signings. Yeah, Federico Chiesa does not count, bruh. He barely played for us. So this summer, after Arne Slot proved himself, we needed to cause some damage in the transfer market, and we did. Regarding the goalkeeping situation, that was already kind of solved last summer, but people forgot about that. You see, we signed the Georgia goalkeeper from Valencia, Georgi Mamardashvili, last summer for an initial fee of 30 million euros, but we had him on loan at Valencia for the entirety of the 24-25 season. But now that he's at Liverpool, it does feel like a new signing, and trust me, he'll get plenty of game time. Alisson always has a lengthy injury every season, it seems like, so Mamardashvili will get plenty of game time as a second string goalkeeper, and with him only being 24 years old, it seems like he'll be the future number one in a few years time. So great business from Liverpool's part. But now it was time to make some new signings in the summer of 2025, and the fullback position was probably the next issue that we desperately needed to resolve. The fullbacks we had at the club needed upgrade. As I already said, Robbo is getting older and slower. I personally don't believe Tsimikas can ever truly be the number one left back at Liverpool. I don't think he's good enough, respectfully, while Connor Bradley is definitely the future right back. But we still definitely needed a depth piece from the outside or someone to potentially challenge him for that spot. And that's when Hughes and Edwards got to work, and they found a solution. First, we solved the right back situation with Jeremie Frimpong, the former Bayer Leverkusen and Dutch right back, thanks to him having a 35 million euro release clause, making it a pretty straightforward deal to get done. Not only that, Jeremie Frimpong's transfer to Liverpool doesn't occupy an international player slot due to his status as a homegrown player under UEFA regulations, with him spending some time in Manchester City's academy. And that's a huge benefit for Liverpool, since that means they can sign more players from abroad. Not only that, Frimpong is a boyhood Liverpool fan. He said that he wanted to join the Liverpool academy, but it would have been hard for his parents to drive him there, so he chose Man City. And his dad used to watch LFC TV on the television, supporting Liverpool as well. So for us to sign a fullback who has top quality, while also already loving the club beforehand, is a huge plus for us. Yes, I understand there are concerns regarding whether Frimpong is an actual right back, since he played in a back five under Xabi Alonso at Bayer Leverkusen, where he was more of a winger slash wingback than an actual fullback, but Arne Slot's a genius. I trust that beautiful ball man that he knows what he's doing. Plus, Frimpong's fast as hell, meaning his recovery speed will help us out a lot if he gets caught out up the pitch, which is something Trent Alexander-Arnold actually lacked. But anyways, with us finding a right back, we desperately needed to find a new left back now, even with Robbo and Tsimikas looking like they're going to stay at Liverpool for the next season. And the obvious and first choice was Milos Kerkez, the Hungarian left back who balled out last season for Bournemouth. He was an absolute stud and showed how good he can be for years to come, and it made perfect sense why Liverpool were desperate to sign him. And what made this deal pretty straightforward as well was that Kerkez was desperate to join Liverpool. He kept showing signs on social media that he only wanted to join Liverpool, and that's the only club he'd leave Bournemouth this summer for. And that makes me a happy man. It's been a while since we've seen players prioritize a Liverpool move. After that Moises Caicedo Romeo Lavia summer, I've legitimately been traumatized. But this summer, I've gained my hope back. We really do have insane motion. That's Liverpool Football Club, baby. We got hella aura. Anyways, with Milos Kerkez only wanting Liverpool, the deal got done for around 46.7 million euros, and we got our new left back and the right back for years to come. Brilliant business. But this was only the start for what was to come, because the attack still needed a massive revamping. And that's where one of the best players in the world already in my opinion, and possibly the best German talent that was available, Florian Wirtz, comes into the picture. But before we talk about that, please remember to subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it and it means a lot, so thank you. And also if you guys can, follow my Twitter and my Instagram, both on Nabuto, if you just want to hear my thoughts on football games, transfers, and overall just to get to know me more. Also, make sure to join the Discord server, link in the description, and also follow me on Twitch. Live streams may be coming soon. So if you want to, feel free to like the video, follow me on my socials, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Now back to Wirtz. He was always going to be a dream Liverpool signing, and his player attributes would transform Liverpool into a completely different beast. After all, in the last 24-25 campaign, Wirtz was in the 95th percentile for shots on target, 99% for passes completed, 97th percentile for expected assists, 93rd percentile for progressive passes, 93rd percentile for shot creating actions, 98th percentile for touches, 98th percentile for carries, etc. So from what I just said, Florian Wirtz was a creative magician at the center of the pitch for Leverkusen and made things happen. Hence why he was labeled as a top player in the world of football. However, throughout the late stages of the past season, it seemed like Florian Wirtz was destined to join Bayern Munich. I mean, that is where all the top Bundesliga talents go to. They win numerous Bundesliga titles with the biggest club in the country, and at the same time, Man City was also pretty interested. Liverpool were nowhere near the race, or at least that's what we thought. Because when Liverpool joined in on the race, Manchester City backed up, with them believing the full package is too expensive, and honestly, City aren't known to be doing transfer battles, so it kind of made sense for them. Also, with Pep Guardiola's long-term future being uncertain, Wirtz wouldn't have been ready to commit long-term. Regarding Bayern, they pretty much fumbled Florian Wirtz. They made Wirtz feel uncomfortable and exposed the way they publicly spoke about him. He felt underwhelmed when he spoke to the manager of his company with no clear tactical plan being shown to him during their meeting, unlike Arne Slot, who left a strong impression with Wirtz. And it does seem like Slot played a huge role in securing Wirtz. So with all that being said, Wirtz decided to do the unlikely thing and join Liverpool instead of Bayern Munich as a German footballer, but for a Premier League record fee of 125 million euros, with around 11.3 in achievable add-ons, which would bring the total due to 136.3 million euros. This is a huge amount of money that Liverpool just spent on Florian Wirtz, but Wirtz is an upcoming superstar and could generally transform how Liverpool plays, no matter what his position is on the pitch. So I think it was quite a necessity to sign somebody of Wirtz's quality, which is exactly what we did. And this signing of Wirtz to Liverpool just brought me so much excitement heading into the next season. It's been a while since we've had a Galactico level signing. I think the last one was probably either Alisson Becker or Virgil van Dijk. And no, it wasn't Darwin Núñez, bro. He ain't no Galactico, be for real. But the best potential transfer window in Liverpool football history wasn't done yet, because just recently, Liverpool have made another huge signing. The 6'3" French striker who played for Eintracht Frankfurt, Hugo Ekitike, is looking like he'll be Liverpool's latest signing for an enormous amount of around 95 million euros, which is absolutely absurd. Listen, I know Liverpool were desperate for a striker. The entire world knows that. We literally only have Darwin Núñez right now who we are looking to sell, so we definitely need to make a splash signing up top. But man, 95 million euros for Ekitike is a lot of money. And listen, he's good no doubt, but still, he's largely unproven apart from the last season where he absolutely balled out for Eintracht Frankfurt, scoring 22 goals and getting 12 assists in 48 games, scoring 15 only in the Bundesliga. And I get it, that's quite alarming, especially for that amount of money. We don't want another Darwin Núñez situation happening to us. But I can see why Liverpool are signing Ekitike. It's clear as day that we want somebody who has a similar profile to Alexander Isak, which Ekitike clearly has. I mean, just look at these stats right here. Apart from the goal scored, these guys have pretty much a similar striker output, I'm not gonna cap. And I mean, the way we went about Ekitike was pretty good too. It seemed like Newcastle were gonna get him, but then we came in and told them to give us Isak or we're taking Ekitike. And that's exactly what we did. Even swooping him away from Chelsea and Manchester United, a club that Ekitike grew up supporting, by the way. Not only that, with him just turning 23 years old, he's young enough where he can grow into an even better striker and help us out tremendously. And with Arne Slot understanding that his versatility could be key up top, unlike Darwin Núñez who doesn't really have that much versatility at all, Ekitike could completely change the way we play, which is what Slot wants. I am a little concerned with how fast he can hit the ground running, but when Michael Edwards wants a player, I trust him completely. He rarely misses when it comes to signings. Plus, I saw a stat recently that makes me even more confident about Ekitike, and it's the fact that before Newcastle signed Alexander Isak, he only had 10 goals all season, and only 6 of them came in La Liga. And we all know how good of a striker Isak has become after that. And with Ekitike having a similar profile to Isak, and his stats are better before joining a Premier League club, has got me pretty excited knowing that, I'm not gonna cap. But I am name dropping Isak a lot. So let's talk about him, because it's no secret at this point that Alexander Isak is Liverpool's dream signing, and they're ready to pay a large sum of money to Newcastle for his services. In fact, apparently we're ready to wait until January or even next summer too. But regardless, we're desperate for Isak. That's basically the bottom line here. And I know that begs the question, why the hell did we sign Ekitike if Alexander Isak was the clear target? And I believe I do have the answer for that. Right now we only have one number 9 on our team, Darwin Núñez, who wants to leave Liverpool this summer and seems likely to do just that. And with Diego Jota's passing, rest in peace of course, we'll forever miss and cherish him, but due to his passing, we are a striker short when it comes to the squad depth at this football institution. And most clubs out there have 2 strikers within the club, one as mainly as a depth piece and one top striker playing regularly. And I believe that's what Liverpool is going for here. I think the tragic passing of Jota has fast-tracked the plans for this, which is why we're willing to drop a large sum my money on 2 strikers this summer rather than splash 1 this summer and wait for 1 the next summer. Because I think if there's a point that Isak suddenly becomes available this summer to sign, which I mean, hey, it's looking likely that there's a chance, with Eddie Howe even dropping Isak in their latest preseason friendly because his head was turned and he's getting a little distracted. So there is a chance that we could get Isak this summer, but if not, it seems clear the plan is the next one. And this is also the reason why we sent Ekitike, who might have been in the plans, but maybe we fast track the signing of him just in case Isak doesn't work out this summer. But anyways, that's just my 2 cents regarding the situation. But to be clear, if we do sign both, I will be in dreamland. But of course, I would have preferred Isak over Ekitike, let's be honest. But anyways, talking about potential players that we could sign that we are linked to, let's talk about another player who has the potential of being a superstar, Real Madrid's Brazilian winger, Rodrygo. And Liverpool were actually linked to Rodrygo many years ago, but he chose Real Madrid over us. Here's the thing though, it seems more likely than ever that Rodrygo is exiting Real Madrid. After all, I think he literally only played the first game of the tournament at the FIFA Club World Cup. He doesn't look like he's part of the plans of Madrid at all. And with him being forced to play off the right, since Real Madrid employs Mbappe and Vinicius Jr., he's been playing in his unfavored position for years now. And guess who might have a left wing slot open if Luis Diaz is sold? Which Fabrizio Romano is saying, by the way, that he's likely to go to Bayern Munich. That's right, it's Liverpool. And who's a club that is close to Real Madrid's globalization and just like a superstar level club? That's right, Liverpool Football Club. And who can walk into that left wing position and dominate for years to come in a huge club? Rodrygo at Liverpool Football Club. This just makes too much sense. And if we sign Rodrygo, how greedy, huh? How greedy! But I love it. Liverpool, please do a madness for me. Rodrygo in this window. Oh, baby, I'm about to bust!
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
But yeah, we made so many signings, and we're looking like we're not done with the business yet. And also, like for example, Mark Gahey is linked to be a center back too, etc, etc. And honestly, it just feels like a great time to be a Liverpool fan right now. I am hyped for next season. But anyways, what are your guys' thoughts on Liverpool's transfers so far and future transfer plans? Are you guys satisfied, or are y'all hungry for some more signings? Let me know down in the comments. But anyways, if you like this video, please remember to subscribe. I really appreciate it. And please be sure to follow my Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch, and join the Discord community especially. All the links are in my YouTube description. And last but not least, if you want to learn all about the drama surrounding Lamine Yamal this summer, you definitely want to check out this video right here. You won't regret it.